Hello there, my Disney princesses. Today I will play support Malzahar with a skin called 3 Honors, which comes as a big surprise to have for somebody who plays support Malzahar. But first things first, if this is not your first video on this channel you are watching and you are not subscribed, let me ask you this. Do you really not want free positive karma points in your life? The plan is simple. We will take this late-stage cancer patient and we will double our cancer and give it to the next person. Occasionally, we will pay a lucky winner a full cancer transfusion with our R. Did I get greedy? Yes. Would playing a different champion change that? No. And if you don't believe me, look at Obelix and Blondie Girl dying for the same reason a few seconds later. Sometime later, we have our first respondent, who takes all the accumulated cancer, so I now have a positive KDA. But that nice feeling doesn't last long since I get chained by another 100-episode-long anime filling my brain with gray void. Followed by a small gank banged in the 9th minute that is about as clean as that sock you are keeping hidden in that drawer. Then that one farm boy who never needed a girl to satisfy him because he is living his dream with all his pig concubines arrives and we dive them. It would go fine only if Tower didn't decide that 2 hits were enough to kill cancer cells. When I decide to peace out, I am reminded of my vow to protect AD carry with my life, but this is a tough life and people are loyal only as far as it doesn't cost them anything. But I must say, I would rather pay €6 for watching this than the second part of Aquaman. Imagine playing tank champion where your only job is to not allow the enemy team to see anything other than your fat ass and you fail even at that. And this is the moment you have been waiting for since the moment you picked this cancer king in the lobby, using your spells and casually walking away from the explosion as they die. Or was it that one where you flashed to use your R to render most fed enemy champion useless? Which one makes your pants more wet? Let me know in the comments. At this point, I can solo their AD carry. You might say there is clearly a pig mama next to you. To what I will say, have you seen her hit any of the abilities? After their cat tries to headbutt the boar, we quickly turn this fight around. I also somehow know that my ultimate cancer ability has a long enough range to reach the enemy Murloc. As every League player, when it seems like I am ahead, I start flexing. Some BM in chat is also necessary, as League is and always will be a mental game. But even without my R and Flash, we win the next team fight because cancer is a hereditary disease, and no matter how many times they reincarnate, it will live in them forever. The same way I knew it was worth it to flash for Thresh, I knew this time that there was no point in trying to save this rainbow boy and rather saved my R for one of those annoying champs that are annoying simply because Riot decided to give some of their abilities laughing voiceover. Imagine being this Ezreal pinging me exactly 236 times this game for not massaging his feet the whole game, and then you see me do this for some stray fox with ratties. Meanwhile, how exactly did this Ashe and Rengar take Baron? Then we end up dying one by one as if we were boys going to pee, but everybody knows that girls do it better because they go in pairs. League of Legends, baby. Blondie Girl gets caught, me as support gets ulted by their jungler, and then our 2 tanks run them down while completely ignoring their biggest damage source. And don't forget to sprinkle it with some unnecessary flash at the end. Sometimes I am funny, even during the game itself. Then I got twice deleted by the current state of the game, where the only thing that matters is whether you hit your abilities first or not, and therefore we lose. After 5 minutes of boring laning phase, Fiesta finally begins. Our teenage girl, who solves all her mental health issues by changing her hair color, decides to gank our lane. But I get a little carried away because alt girls are my type and so die as well. Then the reason why nobody visits Africa arrives from the enemy jungle, and despite being outnumbered, he pulls out a win because there is nothing more frustrating than playing champion with skill shot but not being able to use it because there is minion in your face. Sometime later, Ezreal decides that he definitely can go pee while he walks to lane, but underestimating the size of his bowels results in his death, followed soon after by my ass being dived. We try to dive them as well, but it doesn't go as smoothly, so instead I experience deja vu from my first bed experience. In other words, it took only 2 shots for me to die. A few deaths that granted me only 1 assist later, I finally got lucky and achieved the kill steal achievement. And as the one and only would say, and another one, please stop queuing up for games when you know you can't play them out, because mommy was quite clear when she said, you better be in bed by 9 p.m. Then I have a date with your PE teacher. He's going to show me how to properly use those big balls for yoga. Then me and Lux decided to go on a date, but she is one of those overly optimistic girls who never had reason to be sad in their life, and it just didn't work out. She said something about me being obsessed with cancer. Remember, boys, those things called ultimate abilities are called that way for some reason, and not using them may result in defeat. Anywho, thanks for watching, but I leave you Johnnyless now.